Hey everyone, and welcome back to today's Explainer. We're diving into something that looks like pure, lighthearted fun on the surface, but honestly, it's incredibly profound. We're talking about the story of Benny the Banana and his life in Fruity Town. Now, at first glance, this is just a charming little fable, but when you peel back the layers, and yes, pun absolutely intended, you actually find a masterclass in entrepreneurship. It's a step-by-step blueprint for building resilience and practicing authentic leadership. So let's unravel this golden rise to power and figure out exactly how a cartoon banana built an absolute empire. Okay, let's just dive right into the central mystery here. How exactly does a fruit start with absolutely nothing, literally living at the very bottom of this social ladder, and end up owning the largest company in the kingdom? It's a wild trajectory. To understand the business mechanics behind Benny's incredible transformation, we just need to follow his journey, step by step. To really appreciate Benny's rise, we've got to look at where he started, and the contrast here is just stark. Benny lived in a tiny, cramped wooden crate right behind the market. He was scraping by, earning just a few coins a day carrying boxes for other businesses. Meanwhile, the apples were loaded, the grapes owned massive enterprises, and King Pineapple, he was literally riding around in a golden fruit limousine. Benny was at the absolute bottom. He was constantly surrounded by these spoiled, famous mangoes who would openly mock him, calling him just a worker banana. But here's the thing, Benny didn't let the mockery make him bitter. He just kept his head down and kept working, completely fueled by the stream to build something of his own. Which brings us to a massive turning point. Enter an old lemon named Grandpa Zest. He noticed Benny's relentless physical hustle and dropped this brilliant piece of advice on him. Stop working only with your hands. Start working with your mind. Boom. That was the light bulb moment. Benny realized that physical labor alone, it has a hard ceiling. If he truly wanted to change his life and hit those big goals, he had to shift his focus from purely physical output to investing heavily in his own human capital. So, what did working with his mind actually look like? It meant intense, almost obsessive dedication. While the other fruits in town were fast asleep, and while some were still actively making fun of him for reading, Benny essentially built his own rigorous night school. He hyper-focused on 4 core pillars: business, selling, customer service, and leadership. Night after night, he systematically educated himself. He was quietly building the foundational knowledge base he'd need to run an empire, ignoring all the laughter, and just getting undeniably smarter every single day. Fast forward a bit, after years of painfully saving up his meager wages and studying late into the night, Benny makes his very first entrepreneurial leap. He buys a fruit cart. Now, to be clear, it was definitely not glamorous. The paint was peeling off, the wheels squeaked incredibly loudly. It was a super humble, imperfect start. But the absolutely crucial detail here, it belonged to him. He had officially transitioned from an employee carrying boxes to a business owner. But, here is the harsh reality of starting a business. You might expect this instant, magical success story after all that studying, right? Well, on his very first day running his own cart, Benny only sold 2 fruits. Just 2. That is a heartbreakingly tiny return on years of saving and late-night studying. And honestly, it gets worse before it gets better. Welcome to the trough of sorrow. On day 2, his sales dwindled down to a single fruit. The momentum is literally moving in the exact wrong direction. And here we are at rock bottom, day 3. Benny made 0 sales, absolutely nothing. This is the exact moment where most people, and let's be real, most fruits, would just pack it in and give up. He felt completely defeated. But the defining characteristic of Benny's entire journey is his absolute refusal to quit. He didn't lock up the cart. Instead, he took a step back and started looking a lot closer at his market. Benny realized he desperately needed a differentiator. So he observed the market and spotted a massive customer pain point. People absolutely hated waiting in those long, tedious lines at the traditional market. So what does he do? He invents a completely new service for Fruity Town. He decides to bypass the market entirely and starts delivering fruits directly to people's homes. He found a glaring gap, shifted his distribution model, and created incredible convenience for his buyers. It was a total game changer. And man, did the market respond. The reaction to this direct-to-home model was explosive. Orders started pouring in so fast that Benny literally couldn't physically handle the volume by himself anymore. To keep up with this rapid scaling and actually manage the logistics, he had to staff up. He brought on a cherry, a pear, and a strawberry. So suddenly, his squeaky little one-man cart operation was officially expanding into a real, multi-employee business. But, as they say, with success comes envy. Remember that spoiled mango who used to mock Benny back when he was just carrying boxes? Well, he became furious that Benny was succeeding. He was terrified of losing his own status. So the mango resorts to straight-up sabotage. He launches this malicious smear campaign, spreading rumors all over town that Benny's fruits weren't fresh. And the impact? Devastating. Benny's hard-earned sales completely crashed. His new employees were terrified about losing their jobs, and Benny was just heartbroken. Now, this moment brilliantly illustrates what separates a good leader from a truly great one. Benny didn't retaliate. He didn't jump into a public, messy feud with the mango. Instead, he channeled all of that frustration completely into his product. He ruthlessly improved his business in 3 steps. He went out and sourced even fresher fruits, he engineered significantly faster deliveries, and he provided even better customer care. He simply let the undeniable quality of his product fight the rumors for him. And if you track customer trust through this ordeal, it's fascinating. During that initial rumor phase, trust obviously dipped incredibly low. But as Benny pushed through his improvement phase, just hyper-focusing on the customer experience, trust steadily clawed its way back. By totally refusing to engage in the petty drama and instead just delivering unparalleled value, Benny didn't just win his old customers back. He secured ultimate market loyalty. It pushed his business higher than it had ever been before. From there, the compounding growth is just insane. Benny didn't stop at a successful delivery service. Over months, that tiny squeaky cart evolved into a permanent fruit store. Give it a few years, and that store became a massive supermarket. Give it a few decades, it transformed into a giant company. Benny's logo was suddenly everywhere in Fruity Town. He had fleets of delivery trucks crisscrossing the entire kingdom every single day. He completely cornered the market. Which brings us to an absolutely incredible milestone. One morning, Benny wakes up to the news that his company is officially worth millions of fruit coins. That poor worker Banana who used to sleep in a damp wooden crate behind the market, he was officially a millionaire. And the best part is, the entire kingdom celebrated his success because it was a true testament to the fact that his wealth was earned through grit, not just inherited. But wait, the story has one final, fascinating twist that really brings everything full circle. The exact same mango who laughed at Benny at the beginning and who actively tried to destroy his business later on, he eventually lost his own enterprise. And one rainy day, completely broke, lonely and humbled, the mango comes knocking on Benny's door. He apologizes for his past cruelty and practically begs for a second chance. How Benny handles this is just the ultimate lesson in emotional intelligence. He doesn't gloat, he doesn't laugh and turn the mango away. He just smiles, says everyone deserves a second chance, and, get this, actually offers his former bully a job. Benny drops this incredible piece of wisdom. Success means helping others rise too. He understood that true, lasting power isn't about destroying your enemies, it's about elevating the people around you. Ultimately, Benny became known across the land as the Fruit King. But surprisingly, it wasn't because he had the biggest pile of fruit coins in the bank. It was because of his immense kindness and his philanthropic legacy. He used those millions to build schools for young fruits, he created thousands of stable jobs, he actively helped struggling families, and he never, ever forgot where he came from. His true wealth was the overwhelmingly positive impact he had on Fruity Town. So, as we wrap this up, let's break down the practical business takeaways we can actually apply from this. Call it the Benny formula. First up, hard work. Transitioning from purely manual labor to mental education results in massive, scalable skill building. Second, resilience. Surviving the absolute agony of zero sales forces you into market innovation, like inventing a home delivery service. And finally, empathy. Forgiving your enemies and focusing on elevating others, that's what creates a lasting, unbreakable legacy. Benny the Banana proved that with relentless learning, an unbreakable spirit, and a genuinely kind heart, you can change your entire world. But he also left us with a pretty heavy challenge. If true success isn't just about what you accumulate, but about helping others rise, I want you to look at your own life and your own work right now. Who are you lifting up today? Think about that as you go out and build your own empire. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.